The power stations of the past, pumping out pollution. This is what Britain wants to avoid in the future. And the new vision? A revolution in clean coal energy. The ultimate plan to clean up coal power stations with the greenhouse gas emissions from the new sites collected and permanently stored underground. The Climate Change Secretary outlined his vision for the future.
In our energy policy, we face three challenges: to transform our energy to low-carbon sources, to maintain security of supply, and to do so in a way that is right for the British economy and industry. And to meet that challenge, we'll take all of the low-carbon technologies at our disposal. We need renewable energy, and in the last 5 years, we have tripled renewable electricity supplies. We have more offshore wind power than any country in the world, and yesterday my right honourable friend, the Chancellor, announced new support for offshore wind and new financial help for the wind industry to get through the credit crunch. We also need to facilitate nuclear energy too, in the face of climate change, with assurances on safety and cost. Many who once opposed nuclear power now support it. Thanks to decisions made by my predecessor, Britain is on track for a renaissance in nuclear power, and I announced last week the nominations for 11 potential sites. Mr. Deputy Speaker, the future of coal in our energy mix poses the starkest dilemma we face. It is a polluting fuel, but is used across the world because it is low cost and it is flexible enough to meet fluctuations in demand for power. In the UK, a third of our existing coal-fired power stations are due to close in the coming decade. In order to ensure that we maintain a diverse energy mix, including maximising our domestic fuel supply, we need new coal-fired power stations, but only if they can be part of the low-carbon future. And across the world, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we know the challenge that coal presents, with many countries, including China and India, reliant on coal, and many building new coal-fired power stations at a rapid pace. There is an urgent international imperative for us to make coal clean.
He then went on to talk about new conditions.
We consulted last year on carbon capture readiness as a condition for new coal-fired power stations. But I've concluded that while it is right to go ahead with this condition, it will not on its own drive the change we need. I believe that we need to signal a move away from the building of unabated coal-fired power stations because it is right for our country to drive us towards low carbon as part of a progressive decarbonisation of our power supply. It is an essential part of a new industrial strategy, and it is necessary if we are to show international leadership on climate change. So I am proposing two new conditions that any new coal-fired power station must meet to gain consent in England and Wales. We are now proceeding with a strategic environmental assessment and will consult formally in the summer. First, Mr. Deputy Speaker, we must send a decisive signal that change starts now. So I now propose a requirement to demonstrate CCS on a substantial proportion of any new coal-fired power station. We will propose for consultation a requirement to demonstrate at least 300 megawatts of net capacity or around 400 megawatts of gross output as a condition of any consent. The demonstration condition would mean that henceforth unabated coal-fired power stations will not get government consent. Second, alongside this, we must secure not just a commitment to demonstrate, but when the technology is proven, a commitment that CCS will be fitted on the entire plant.
He also said it was the beginning of a new era in power generation.
Under today's path to low-carbon coal, we'll be able to meet both our climate change commitments and have up to 4 new coal-fired power stations by 2020, including with the use of indigenous coal. And this route to low-carbon coal is right too for the British economy and will enable us to lead the world in carbon capture and storage. With a reliable stream of finance, we're investing in British skills so our industries can lead carbon capture and storage, not just within Britain, but at power stations around the world. And I hope our industry, universities, our scientists will respond to the challenge of creating a new industry in Britain.
Britain has already confirmed that it is the world's #1 country for offshore wind farms. Now it will be attempting to clean up coal power and lead the world in this area of clean energy too.